Oh, and we're live. Good evening, everybody. How is everyone tonight on this marvelous, happiest day right before Canada Day? Everyone loves Canada Day. I love it. Anyhow, you're listening to the world's greatest DJ, carnival ride operator, full blown alcoholic. Whoops, off the wagon. And your best friend, Julian Orbit. Sit back, relax, have a drink, and hang out. And let's talk about a cartoon for adults. Anime Tuesdays. What? Joining us tonight, Stairmaster, author of the piano, music producer, motorcycle hooligan, and your best friend, Mobobius. What is up, my friend? How's it going? Boom.
Hey,
Oh,
hello,
he's with
hello.
us. Oh.
Hey, oh, hey, how you
So,
doing? Stuckats.
before we even start, I gotta ask you. I need to know. Everyone needs to know. How is your anime education coming along? Your journey through
Um,
anime. That's right, everyone.
well, we've certainly gone through the dark corners
True.
of anime. I mean, I know there's other anime out there, but that
Yes,
doesn't count.
it's
Doesn't
not the
count.
same.
We're not doing that yet. But holy crap, what a violent world. As
Yes,
someone who, like I'm aware that anime was around and I know some of it's violent, but the
right.
extents of which I had not explored until my anime education with We Are the Night. Not
That's
an
right,
anime
guys.
guy, um,
Anime Tuesdays.
and I'm liking it, but
Cool,
this one
cool.
was a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you.
After the last bit of awful violence and yeah,
Oh
I know.
God.
Like this is we. I needed this one myself. I was just like,
Oh,
especially after Kite. Oh my god. I need something just please just not that for 1 minute.
Kite was. Oh man.
There's no way to describe Kite or even talk about it. It's I recommend it sort of if you watch the uncut. No, not the don't watch the
Don't
uncut.
watch
What?
the uncut. Don't watch the uncut.
Don't listen.
Don't.
Don't ever watch the uncut.
If you
The
watch the
directors.
uncut, you're gonna you're gonna be on a list somewhere. If you bought it, you know that part in The Simpsons where like the signal goes and like somebody
Mhm,
bought Al Gore's book.
right.
It's the same thing. Like you buy the uncut version at a retail store, you
They
go
sell
on a
it.
database.
It's at Best Buy. They're like, "Can I
I
have your phone number, please?" I'm like,
like.
"Uh-oh."
Oh, you warned me, and I'm like, how bad can it be?
Help.
Oh God.
I
Ah,
couldn't believe it because I have it on VHS and I'm like, these are two different movies.
I didn't like it. I might have liked the original, the
Hmm.
cut version. I might have liked it, but
Right.
anyway,
Anyway, let's So what's with this hat you're wearing? What's going on here?
it's from my
Look at
boys down at River City Vapes.
River City
Uh,
Vapes.
yeah, I'm a vapor. It's a lifestyle,
My Xbox vapes. What?
but yeah, I mean, they always got my stuff, and they're a friendly bunch. The guys down at Windermere, shout outs. And yeah, it's not
Nice.
like they're a sponsor or anything, but I did talk to the guys today, and I
Hmm.
said, hey, I'll give you guys a shout out on my show, and stay
Nice.
tune in. So hopefully some of you guys
Yeah.
are watching.
Hey guys. Hope you like cartoons for adults.
Whether you like anime or not, I hope you find this entertaining. And
Yeah, exactly.
if you've seen this movie, then watch. If you haven't, whatever. I don't care.
There's a few reasons to actually watch this. That's for sure. James from the chat says, "Do you have a waifu pill yet?" Absolutely, and It has a
Built-in flashlight.
built-in flashlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been modified. It's been
Mm.
modified.
It goes.
Now,
Ee, ee.
dude, that's brutal. Okay, so yeah, it's of Chun Li, by the way, from Street Fighter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's you know, some of us that's what we get to sleep with at night. Like cue the sad violin.
I'm more of a
But
Cammy guy myself.
oh my God, Cammy from the
Mm.
movie though. That's Kylie Minogue,
Not
and
surprising.
Kylie Minogue was
She does the
sleeping with.
voice.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the live action Van Damme movie. Kylie Minogue was
Oh.
actually sleeping with Van Damme at the time, and that ended up
Who
breaking
was
up.
it?
That broke up Van Damme's marriage, and she's like, can't get you out of my. She was like a party girl, right? So she's like, that was fun, and then he's like, my marriage. It's like,
Interesting story about.
stupid, stupid.
Sorry. Um,
Go ahead.
interesting story about that Street Fighter movie. This Raul Julia's last movie,
Right.
and he promised his grandkids that he would put on a grand performance for that movie because they were both big fans of Street Fighter, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the only reason he did that. He was dying of cancer. He was riddled. His body was riddled with cancer,
Yeah, he's
and
dying.
so he picked
He
up
went
his
for it though.
acting
Fucking
career
went
once
for it, man.
again to do it, and like if you watch, like his performance actually stands out. It's like you've got a bunch of these retards and this like boom, this Shakespearean guy, and he's just going all out.
I think retard's the wrong word. Developmentally challenged is that the right term?
Sorry,
It's okay. We're all learning this new lingo.
right or lack
Yeah,
thereof.
yeah. We're trying to improve. Okay. I'm trying not to laugh so hard.
I'm
So
sorry, Joey Moss, if you're
everyone
watching.
loves Joey Moss. Joey. So
I
I'll get
love.
into let's get onto a few things here. So Paprika, 2006, it has an 84% critic rating and an 86% audience rating. That's a good ratio
On what? Some
on
crap.
Paprika.
Mm,
So that's
paprika.
I just like saying paprika.
Pa- pa-
We-
Wait, what are you saying?
Paprika.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try. Well, wait, paprika? Okay, got it. Anyhow,
Paprika.
Time Magazine actually included this in its top 25 anime films of all time. Metacritic has listed this film among the top 25 rated science fiction films and the top 30 highest rated animations of all time. I'm telling you guys, this is one heck of a movie. Like, it's good. A lot of critics and apparently film scholars, basically people who watch movies and get a little snobby about it, but they have noted many striking similarities of the movie with the 2010 Christopher Nolan film Inception. And personally, I think Inception is a giant effing ripoff. So that's my
Very
own. That's my opinion.
striking.
That's right. So this is directed by Masao Takayama. He's actually known for Metropolis. I know anime film fans know this one. Everyone knows that one. It's another really, really big one. And Tokyo Godfathers from 2003. That's one that I actually want to do because it's really, really good as well. And Steam Boy 2004. Not that bad. Not my type of thing.
Didn't even know any of those existed.
Hey, that's why we're here. We're here to educate you and everybody else that anime's for everyone, man. It's cool stuff. It's there's the stuff for the kids, and then there's these films that are amazing. Like you couldn't actually make an actual film out of this movie. It'd be so expensive. I can't even imagine the cost of it.
But they did.
They did. It's called Inception. Yeah,
They definitely did.
yeah, they did it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like
I
when I first watched Inception, I was just like, wow, man.
Whoa, it's trippy.
And then like
What?
when
What
everything
mind
sunk
blow?
in, it just kind of
Hmm.
I didn't
Like,
like it as
yeah.
much. And then after watching this, it's like, oh,
Oh my God. Once again, we got you.
another
Once
one.
again, another one, right? Like every one of these films is like, what the hell?
Well, I'm noticing a pattern with your choices
Mm-hmm.
of
Because they
anime
that
because
Hollywood
it
stole
just
from.
happens to be that, well, it's all the great anime films. Wow.
Hmm.
All the major anime films have been ripped off by Hollywood.
That's right. You take that top 30 list and you can grab stuff like it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Quentin Tarantino. But of course, of course. I'm not going to recommend Kite though. Don't watch it, guys. Don't get in there. Don't go down that rabbit hole. But this
No.
one, Paprika. Oof. Even what is there? Two, three. Okay, there's three scenes that have a little bit of nudity. And just
Yeah, but it's tasteful and it's
it
like
was tasteful. Yeah,
incidental nudity. It's not like, well, you know.
Kite.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah. Or Ninja Scroll, which was
Oh
also
my, pretty brutal. Yeah.
beat it.
Oh my God, Ninja Scroll is considered a classic too. Like, oh, it is a classic. I think Ninja Scroll is awesome, but at the same time, like, it's in 2020, that type of stuff is just not really looked upon favorably. And I actually heard today that they're looking to further censor anime now, so you can't even get the uncut stuff. Like, and politicians in Japan and producers they're not having any of it.
Yeah,
Like,
actually, they said openly. They said that this whole culture thing is gonna ruin the art
hmm
of anime. Agree or disagree? I don't have a stance on that. This isn't a political show, so
yeah, we don't do that stuff here, but it's true. I don't. I gotta tell you, I'd rather watch the censored version of that film. That's for sure. It's just little too much, a little too much for this guy.
a
Because
lot too much for this guy.
I'm I'm obviously some sort of Puritan, but I'm gonna put on my Quaker hat and shame them for making something like that. But we'll move on here really quick. So Elijah Wood, the guy from Lord of the
Shame.
Rings, he praised Paprika in an interview, stating, "That movie blew my mind too. That also pushed the envelope of what animation is, and it kind of almost like a total mind head trip." Was he stoned when he said this? This is the worst quote ever. That film, from a visual standpoint, yeah, this
Oh,
was
he
he
was
drunk?
very stoned when he said that.
This, yeah, that's
He was
worse than me
probably
trying
smoking a joint while he said it.
to.
Like, say it again and like breathe in between. Like, yeah,
Yeah, that also pushed the envelope of what animation is. And it was kind of like a total mind head trip, that film, from a visual standpoint. Bro, I was Frodo. Remember that movie?
of the Shire. You know the Shire.
Everyone loves the Shire, bro.
That was real grass, man.
Yeah.
All of it was
Yeah.
real.
They filmed that in New Zealand. They actually built the Hobbit village, dude.
He's been in some wild movies, actually.
Oh, absolutely. That I can't remember what it's called. It's like a crazy zombie movie I just watched recently. I'm like, well, what the hell is this? Or a really, really good one. I know we're getting a little off track. That's what we do here. We talk about movies. But a really good one I enjoyed was called "I Don't Want to Live Here Anymore" or something like that. And it has, I believe she played the neighbor on Two and a Half Men, but she's like the co-star. And that movie with Elijah Wood is actually really good. I absolutely enjoyed it. Check it out, guys. Elijah Wood. I think he should have kept that Frodo hair forever, though. But you know, that's just me. It looks cool. All right, moving right along. So I do believe I have something shared. There we go. So even this, like the animation in this is out of control. Like the way it looks, I thought that was live action for a second, right?
It's kind of got that Akira aesthetic.
Right. Yeah. Well, a lot of the same people worked on this, right?
That's not surprising.
Yeah, you get that really
A lot of
crisp
the
animation.
crowded scenes, um,
It feels like
the
there's
motion.
CG. You know what I mean? It feels like there's some CG in this
There
too, but
is. Oh, absolutely.
it's tastefully done. Unlike
Yeah.
like watching Beast Wars or something where it's
Yeah. Oh God.
unwatchable now. No, it's just it's there, but it's not there to destroy the film per se. All right, we'll move on. Boom. Yeah, there's a lion. I
Taco
here's the
Tuesday.
yeah, Taco Tuesdays. So I actually the first time I put this on, I turned it off because I thought it was a kids' film. I got one one
Yeah.
minute 30 seconds in. I'm like, oh my god, this is about some circus or something. I'm like, ah.
I was just like, what the hell am I watching? Because I had no idea. I have no clue about. Like, I didn't read the plot
hmm
outline. You're just like Paprika, and I went and it took me a while, but I found the DVD and I started watching it. I didn't
Yeah.
look at the I looked at the cover, but holy crap, man!
So we got a message from Chronix. He couldn't join us tonight. He has to go to a children's birthday party tomorrow
Oh my god.
on Canada Day. Oof.
Oh.
I guess he doesn't want to show up too hungover for that. That's fine.
Oh, come on, Sean.
Screaming kids with a headache. That's the best. I love it. Thanks for the encouragement, bro. I'm glad you're watching at least. So this is what I would say we fall into the first MacGuffin of the film right here, right? Because this is like we're assuming that this guy is the bad guy, right?
Yeah, I
And
had no idea what I was.
yeah, because it was some guy that the police officer knew. He was there getting therapy from Paprika,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's what that looked at. And they're in the dream world, like an Inception at this point, and he finds himself locked in a cage by this magician, and everyone's coming after him. They all have this his face. It's seriously like mind bending, and I disappointed myself for the first time that I tried to watch this because I turned it off. Like I'm not watching this crap. Thought it was like, and then it's like, oh my god, this is like 10 seconds later, you moron.
It's like
So,
those. Was it Macross or whatever, the robot ones?
oh, like Robotech, Macross Saga, Macross Plus, all that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I tried watching one once, like years and years and years ago,
All right.
and there was like maybe 5 minutes of robots fighting, and
Right,
then the
and it's
rest was
all
like
drama.
like bullshit story about two people having drama in their life, and it's
And
like
how the
some
war
soap
affects
opera.
them.
Yeah, and like no
hmm
man,
Where's the robots at?
where's my fighting robots? That's kind of watching that because that was like one of the only animes I watched after Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll was the first, and I
hmm
was like, that's pretty good. And then like I didn't. I checked it out maybe a year later. I watched one of those,
Right.
and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It sounds like Macross Plus because that
Where's my
that
fighting robots?
yeah, that one is just like straight up a soap opera, and it's about how the war has been affecting us. Like, oh my god, this is boring. Has some
Yeah.
really good music though. The soundtrack was amazing. But
Synthesized piano. Yeah, I don't know.
anyhow, so he gets rescued by Paprika here, and she is rescuing him. So he's like in distress. She rescues him. He's having a bad dream. She's a dream therapist essentially. That's her. She's a doctor. You know, we'll get into it. But I like that scene. You got the gender reversal there. And here's
She's
our
Tarzan.
yeah, exactly.
He's
And
Jane.
here's our first like look into the Inception stuff. He's in his dream. The walls are melting, and they wake up like hello. And if you look on his face there, he's wearing the Dream Machine. It looks a lot like a certain movie by Christopher Nolan. Just saying. He
What a
ripped this off.
cutie, though.
Right, I know the animation. It's like, and there we go.
Yeah. And at this moment, I was like, okay.
hmm
Hey, Christopher Nolan. I just lost
Scam.
a lot of respect for you.
So I like this scene because why are they wearing robes now? Because if you look, she's fully clothed right there, and he has a shirt on. Now they're rocking robes for some reason. What
Hmm.
happened? Do we have another kite situation where they cut something out?
Part of the
They don't.
therapy. Oh,
I,
she's got the kissy mark on the business card.
yeah, I know. I'm like, oh gosh, is she like some kind of
Is she a
street
dream
prostitute or
therapist? Or
I
is
don't know.
she something else?
Yeah, exactly.
Is she a lady of the night?
We are the knight.
We are the night.
I just like this scene. She's on the scooter, on the Vespa. I love Vespas. She likes burgers. I like burgers, Paprika. And then, you know, we come across the doctor here, the good doctor. What's her name again?
No, no idea. Something. Uh, I'll just offend people if I
Right.
say what I think the name is.
Okay. Moving along. So, I had the other stream in my ear there.
We'll call Newman. Newman. There's Newman,
Right. Right.
and the chick is who's the chick from Seinfeld?
Um, Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Well, the character's name.
Elaine. Call
Elaine.
her Elaine.
Okay,
Right.
so
Newman and Elaine.
Elaine and Newman. We'll see. It's Elaine and Newman.
Yeah, she finds him. We're gonna be getting a call back to this later on. So he's stuck in the elevator. He's a very large guy. She's got to drag him out. Like he gets stuck in places because he's obese.
Yeah, he's built like a baby.
We get the first shot of the doctor. I love this character. I'm not sure if the dub is correct, but he's hilarious.
Mm.
And we first see him here. He's half in the dream world, half in reality here, and he starts spouting off that nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm in. I gotta pause this for a second and start paying attention. This is getting good.
Discipline.
Yeah. He's like cornflake boats, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Blueberries over the moon.
And then we get this first view. We see these guys a lot in this film. By the way, this marching frog band.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love all of those sequences. By the way, it kind of reminds me of Sound and Fury, but this came first. So
And this has actually got
a plot.
a yeah.
I absolutely love this too. This is poster material.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And there he is. He's stuck in the dream world now. He's going nuts. He can't wake up. He's on the other side. He's the king. We come across this character that is Newman's roommate who builds robots, believe it or not,
Yes.
and I believe he's gay as well, right?
Huh?
Isn't that implied?
I don't know, man. I was so confused by this movie that all that extra detail stuff was like,
Oh,
I need to watch this again.
yeah. So I do believe his roommate is gay and they're best friends, and I like that. And we see our first clue to things right
Whoa.
here,
Holy crap.
right?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I know. It's all
Hmm.
these little details. Like this movie requires several watchings, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
it definitely does.
And here's our first like another CGI sequence. Probably not the first, but it
Here comes the rabbit hole.
blew my mind, right? And that she
Hmm.
goes down there, the good doctor, and I don't want to derail this too much, but did you recognize her voice?
No.
So the person who did the voice, her name is Cindy Robinson. Okay, she's a voice actress. I'm just gonna name up some notable roles that she has done. So if you played Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation 2, she was the computer. If you played World of Warcraft, she was the Blood Elf. Elf, elf. It's hard to say right now.
Did she do
Um,
any other characters in it?
no.
No.
If you played
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons Online, she was the dungeon master for the game,
Oh,
and she did
cool.
the kobolds. Kobolds. um,
Neat. Stellar.
really accomplished voice actress. And she was in Naruto as Kagura. Whew. The list goes on and on. If you've played Colin McRae Dirt 2, she's Katie Justice. It just goes on and on. She's in Mass Effect 2 as like five different people. Bioshock 2,
Oh,
Final
really?
Fantasy, what is that? 8? Final Fantasy
Mm.
8. Um, oh, here's the one I'm trying to get to. If you ever played like some of the newer Sonic stuff, she is Amy Rose. That's Sonic's girlfriend, wife. I'm not sure.
That was the name of my first girlfriend.
Amy Rose.
Mm.
Wow,
Mm. Yeah.
cool. Is she a waifu pillow? Just
No,
kidding.
I don't think waifu pillows existed back then. I'm a
Yeah.
very old person.
So, yeah, that's Dr. Atsuko Chiba. So we'll just call her Chiba. That's easier. Sort of.
Elaine.
Elaine. We'll
I'm
move
gonna
on.
call her Elaine.
Give burger. Thanks, James. And we'll move along. So the creepy doll shows up in the rabbit hole world, and
Yeah, if you have a doll phobia,
yo, wow,
this
yeah,
movie is not for you.
watch out. And she actually almost ends up committing suicide because she doesn't know what's real and what's not. Right? There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and this
Hmm.
character here, he's got a little bit of a thing for her. Wouldn't you say? Saves her, and we come across the dinner scene, and he eats a lot of food. He's very hungry. And now back to the dream world. Paprika shows up dressed as a doll, I guess, like a Bo Peep kind of outfit.
Hmm.
Yeah, good old Paprika. And here's the one we used for the screenshot. She's promising something. I
Good.
like it. It's
Totally
not what you guys,
wholesome.
not what you guys think. Yeah, she's
No.
helping this guy. And I like the duality of this, the nature of it, because we learn at this point that she is actually Paprika in the dream world.
Mm.
The Chiba, our good doctor, that's her dream world avatar. And although
Two
they're
very different characters.
extremely different, so good
Very
voice
different.
acting, by the way.
Yeah,
Like
totally. Is that the same voice actress?
same one.
Oh,
So
wow.
for her to be able to like go from the one pitch to like that, I'm a pixie, it was
Hmm. Yeah.
that was good, very good. And yeah, we get the first hint of something's going on here. She sees the back of Newman's shirt, as we're calling him now. And once again, she's just constantly haunted by that other image of herself. It's just there in the mirror. Now, people are starting to go crazy in the real world at this point. They're hurting themselves. They're screaming nonsense because the technology in order to do this had been stolen from their lab, and it's out there. It's infecting people. I just took this picture because I think it's funny, and we see our other character here. He's really upset about his best friend being stuck there, so he decides to maybe go in there and help him, right? And she's still helping out the cop, so now he's in his dream. Everyone is like, they all get different dreams and they start interconnecting. And that's the problem with the technology, is that it was too good.
Now, was
You
it
get
because that's networked, or is there some kind of spiritual
I'm not sure.
connection? Like, are the machines networked, or it's just that it's bleeding into reality and like the link is just there?
Yeah, well, I believe that does get brought up. Like, they don't even need the link anymore. Like, they can just do it at will.
Yeah,
He's panicking. He's in his dream world, and I like this one because she's trying to help him with therapy, right? And he's
yeah,
stuck in a movie, and she's clapping in a movie theater. That was just cool. And we come across this guy, and this is where that imagery pays off, right? Because now he's that
right.
robot.
Now, is that his
Very,
avatar, or
yeah.
I'm really
It's hard. Yeah, I know.
I struggled following this movie. I'm gonna say, like, I struggled a lot. With the
All right,
first half, I was not quite paying attention. Like, I was
right.
watching it, but I have
Throwing
two
you full
screens
screen.
on my PC, and I'm watching it, and like slowly as started watching the movie, I'm like, I can't, like,
Yeah, what the hell
I
is
have
going
to,
on
I have
here?
to like focus hard on this movie because this thing is
It's
it's
out there.
crazy.
Sorry, I'm just going upstairs to grab a Pepsi per se. Pepsi in a black can. Special Pepsi that helps me
More of
talk
a
better.
Coca Cola guy,
It's like I should have said Coke Zero. Oh my god.
Diet Coke, Diet Coke.
I'm just, compared to what I'm actually drinking, it kind of looks like one. I hear you though. There's several times where I had to pause and just go back and go, what on earth just happened? What is
Yeah.
going on in this film?
I wish I would have started watching it earlier before the stream.
Hmm.
I didn't have that luxury.
Yeah, these things happen. These things happen. And as I mentioned earlier, I actually saw this in the theater, and I don't remember watching it. So it must have been a really good day
Yes.
for some movie watching. Okay, guys, let's get back to it. I like this scene. This is the director basically explaining how he frames his shots. I like that. It's called a framing a panning shot, and the idea is that it's on a straight line, so you can flip the image around, and it stays on a straight line. I don't know if this is necessary, but it's hilarious that it was there. And we learned that the cop, one of the main characters, he wanted to be a movie director, and there, in his dream world, she's being very paprika and just listening to what he has to say. I like the idea of this too, because like in the real world, our Dr. Chiba, she's kind of cold and distant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when she goes into this, she becomes like very flirty, very energetic, very like, so I'm not gonna say LOL random because that's a thing from this generation, but this, it's cool. She's fun, very fun. I like it. And in the middle of their therapy session, the other dreams start bursting in, They don't know what's going on. We got our marching frog band, which I absolutely love, and there's Newman in his robot avatar, and she's trying to stop him, but he's so caught up in this dream reality, right? That
Caught
you
up
know,
in the persona.
yes, like everyone there, they're all just kind of going off. Now, in this scene, this is where I'm,
I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying. She's pursuing Newman, and she got her arm stuck. And I like this part too. Like, there's so much of this type of stuff. You guys really got to check this movie out.
Yeah, it switches from reality to reality, or from dream state to dream state.
Hmm.
It's it's all over the place. Don't do what I did. I mean, the first probably the first third of the movie, I wasn't paying proper attention. The
Right.
second 2/3 of the movie, I'm like, okay, well, I have to like sit down and actually really watch this. This is not like
This isn't a
mindless
joke.
action. This is something, and like I also realized this is something I'm gonna have to watch again
Hmm.
just to wrap my head around it.
Right. Oh, I hear you. Do I ever? Okay. And yeah, apparently she can fly. She's got. I like the whole, like, the doctor's interacting with her, and she's on the on the laptop screen talking to him. Just all these little things, and she's popping back and forth. Like here, reality has been broken down inside the dream world, and she's crossing over into someone else's dream. Right?
That one part, Inception, just oh
Inception doesn't even have it close to as how good this is. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's so bad how much plagiarism there was from that movie to this one. Like the idea of it, everything, the concept. I mean, they just this was like if it was like if the whole Paprika thing was like a series, and they're like, okay, well,
mhm,
we'll do an anime and then we'll do a live action. I don't know if this studio who made this sued
it should.
Christopher Nolan, but
I think a lot of these companies should start slapping one down on Hollywood because it's getting ridiculous. Like, it's like movie after movie after movie where it's like, okay, I've seen this before. What's going
yeah,
on here? We've seen these scenes. They're being copied. And I know someone's going to give the Star Wars argument. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. We all know George Lucas copied Kurosawa. He copied, World War II bombing movies. I know. But can we have some originality? Just like it was like an inch, a little bit.
oh, you know that. Well, you know, it's like the Bare Naked Ladies song.
Which one?
It's all been done.
So, why do I know that song? Oh yeah, because I live in Canada and that gets bombarded on the radio nonstop. I like this scene because it just is like little dolls of him, creepy. Turns into a pixie, and here's
Smart
one
move.
for here's one for all the older people out there. Because of her voice, and she's a pixie, I had flashbacks of a cartoon called Kid Video. Have you guys seen that? If you have, subscribe and leave a comment. Check it out. That's actually the first time I'd ever ever seen Wham. Was watching that cartoon as a kid. That's right. Because at the end of each
Wham!
Wham, yeah, with George Michael.
Whoa!
The idea of the cartoon was that there'd be music videos in the cartoon. And it's a actually the concept of that cartoon is it's on par with this movie. I'll give it that. It's out there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So
I'll be
yeah,
right
as
back.
Paprika becomes a pixie-like character in this, she reminds me of the pixie from kid video named Trixie. Try saying that with like 5 beers in you and an empty stomach. Fun stuff. Looks like Mabobes has stepped out for 1 second. Well, I see there's lots of people watching. Does anyone have any comments? You guys want to chat? You want to bring something up? Like, we're here for you. We're here for you. It's not all about me, man. Still, I really love the animation in this. I like the art style is amazing, and as Mobobi said, she's cute. It's not Uncanny Valley cute either. She's kind of a cute character, right?
Who, Tinkerbell?
Paprika. I don't care about
Paprika?
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, she reminds me of Major Kira from Deep Space Nine.
Hmm.
Just
Put
the
some
look.
put some ridges on those nose. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Big
She
ridges.
that actress. What's her name?
Nana Visitor.
Nana Visitor. Yeah, she still looks pretty good today, even though she's
Yeah.
like 60 something. So Paprika comes
There she
across.
is right there.
There she. Hey, baby, Bajoran. Okay, Free Cardassia or whatever it is. Free
Bajoran.
Bajoran. I got it wrong.
They're the bad
Correct.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah.
So she comes across the. This is like what is he? The CEO of the company. Turns out he is the person who stole the technology. Yikes! And this character creeps me right out. So in the real world, Chiba,
Xavier.
yeah, we get this. He's in a wheelchair. He's
And he's
paralyzed.
bald.
Yeah, it's Professor X.
The really good voice acting for this
Absolutely
guy.
right.
Really good. You know, like out of all the animes that I have watched in the last little while,
Right.
I have to say this has got the best voice acting by a really good margin, actually.
Hmm.
The redub of Akira is good, but this is next level. Like they got it right down.
I was gonna do the OK symbol, but I don't know if we're allowed to do that, so I'll just go to thumbs up. Not allowed to do nothing anymore. All right. So it turns out, yeah, he is bleeding from the dream world into reality, and he's got like tree trunk things and all that going on. And we find out that nope, they're still in the dream world. And here's
She's been
Christopher Nolan.
deceived.
Christopher Nolan, can we have our movie back? You jerk! Like, look, running on the walls. The running like. I like that though. She jumps into the painting, and there's her associate from work. I thought that was really, really interesting. Like in this film, anything can happen. Like if it's basically whatever someone can dream up, it can become reality within the dream space. I love that.
I think some of the better ideas in this Inception they couldn't have ripped off because
Right.
they're like, okay, guys, like we can steal the idea for the movie, but we can't do the painting thing because if we do the painting thing, they'll be on to us.
A little too obvious. Or the
Yeah,
mermaid thing here. And I believe those are CGI fish. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. I know that our reviews, the show, we get views, and like it's literally 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, and I know how annoying it is to have some YouTuber going, "Oh, subscribe to my channel," but we're an incredibly small channel. Like this is a close, tight knit community here, and honestly, guys, just try it out for a bit. It won't.
buttons right down there.
Yeah, it won't hurt you. But if you want us to continue doing this, like we need people to subscribe. Otherwise, this is gonna die off, and we're gonna end up on BitChute.
We're gonna end up on Skid Row.
Yeah, we're gonna end up on BitChute having some crazy
Doing
KKK person, like
reviews on dumpsters.
Yeah, leaving nasty comments, and all we just want to talk about cartoons. Like, come on,
This is
guys.
not a. This ain't a dumpster. It's just a trash co waste disposal unit.
What's that from? Oh, I
Come
just
on.
watched it. I just watched it too. That's funny.
Where are all my references from? Pretty much.
Futurama, Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons. You know, where it's
Oh,
that episode
stretching out
where
here.
Otto is.
Otto is Blotto.
My name is Otto, and I like to get Plato.
So I like this one too. Like now she's like it jumps everywhere, and she gets captured. And this scene is this stuff. This is where it gets a little adultish, but incredibly
Yeah, but
mind
it's a
bending.
story, it's a narrative. It's not like,
Yeah.
let's just throw in all,
hmm So yeah, her coworker, who we see early on in the film, it turns out that he's got kind of a thing for her. And when he realizes that Paprika is actually Chiba, he captures her like a butterfly. That's why we see all this weird butterfly imagery in here. There's lots of clues at the beginning of the film to everything that's going to happen, and you don't quite get it until it's over with. I love that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, like we know what's going to happen. And here he's threatening her and saying that he loves her, which is creepy. I took this because I thought it looked cool as a poster. And our police officer friend, the detective, the good detective filmmaker, he actually goes to their website that was left on her business card, and within the website he can interact with the two bartenders here that are actually part of the dream world, and he can receive extra therapy that way, which I found also very interesting. And in the scene he goes, you know how I know I'm not drunk? Because I'm sober. I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me of a few people I know.
I'm not drunk.
I'm not drunk because I can say that I'm not drunk. It's something like that. I'm like, oh my god. Hey, it's my friends. So in this scene here, he sees Paprika's and he's in the theater of his mind's eye, right? She's in trouble, and this is not actually what you think it is whatsoever. This is terrifying.
You just had to take the
I know.
screenshot there.
I know.
He splits
So,
her in half, but
mhm,
not like, really.
not
It's like the dream world.
yeah.
Who knows what.
So he just basically the guy rips off the skin suit of who Paprika is being projected as. It's a skin suit. It's like the sock puppet account that flagged us the other week. Skin suit.
Skin
uh,
job.
this also is not what you think it is. It's not a tentacle movie.
What up,
We got
Sakadoji?
yeah. So the CEO of the company has actually made an agreement with this young man to be able to control his body because he's paralyzed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's also incredibly creepy. And if you look, the skin suit of Paprika is still on the table. Our filmmaker,
That's an
detective.
excellent shot.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a
That's like
beautiful shot.
it's like t-shirt right there because
Mm-hmm.
you got the butterflies, and if you look in the background, there's imagery of everything that's like going on in the film at the time, and you just got to kind of like really look at it. This is one folder I'm not deleting. Like
Yeah,
absolutely,
just like
like
the Akira one.
yeah, there's so many good shots, just
Mm-hmm.
so this guy in his therapy, now he's Tarzan. So I like the callback, right? They're in his dream world, and he's gonna save her because he knows she's in trouble. Except now he gets to be the hero, the protagonist, right? And we get an ending to the movie that he never got to finish, and it's like it's been something that's been weighing on his mind for like decades, right?
Yeah, he that character really gets unraveled
Yeah,
towards the end of the movie because he's just like
it's deep,
this, this straight cut,
repressed. Yeah,
like crew cut having, detective, just
with this flat top, you know.
boring person, and then all of a sudden, like, uh,
Paprika brings out who he
well, just
really is.
yeah, the
Yeah.
he's he's this artist, and he's this, like he's complex character, and there's complex characters throughout this movie.
Which is something you know, wouldn't expect, but here we are, right? I like the scene because he kisses her, and this is the end and all that. Excuse me, and she wakes up. This is what wakes her up, and yeah, she slaps the good doctor.
He wasn't kissing her,
No, he wasn't, but I like the expression on
but
his
he gets
face.
slapped. Oh man,
Yeah,
blood and everything.
gets a good smack. I like this character because he's so upbeat. Like you can tell that the way that his character is that he really enjoys this technology. He thinks it's really cool.
He's
He's
a
like
good
just
natured mad scientist.
yeah, he's just happy to be a part of things, even if it means him getting smacked once in a while. um, this scene very creepy. I'm like I know I said spoiler heavy in the description, guys. Hit subscribe, but this is very creepy. Like this is basically the ghost of
Christmas past.
the ghost of the other doctor crosses over into the real world. Yeah, things start getting really really messy. There he is at the CEO's house, and he's basically he's dying. He's going to what, hell or some variation of. It's yeah,
Obscurity.
I gotta watch it. And
He's crossing into obscurity.
we got our cop. He's back in the dream world, and now he's feeling good about himself,
Yeah,
which
he's
I really
confident.
he's exactly. I like this shot just because of like you guys got to watch a movie. That was this is where reality, the dream world, and the other reality, it's a few layers deep. Like it's like Inception. Like it might take a minute. You might want to spin that top.
Inception is like this.
Yeah, exactly. Inception copied a lot of this. But yeah, you see a family morph into like the cat statues, and love that. It's so cool. I thought this is just hilarious
Yeah,
because at the time like
that
everybody
was a
had
big
those.
part of that culture.
Yeah, you got the guys doing upskirts, except the girls are like,
Go
offering
ahead.
it.
Hmm.
So this is where my mind kind of broke in half when Paprika shows up, but Chiba's there. I'm like, wait, I thought they're one and the same. Like, okay, now this is getting really good at this point, guys. So this is spoiler heavy, and I do recommend watching it. But I mean, if you don't mind spoilers, continue watching our video. If you don't care, just just continue watching the video, okay?
You know, I, for one,
Mm-hmm.
if I feel like I would have liked this movie, I wouldn't want to watch this stream because I feel like I would have liked this movie more if I hadn't watched Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Because Inception basically, yeah, like
Real.
they ripped it off. But like it almost ruined this movie for me because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, oh, it's like I'm watching Inception but like anime.
Right, Right. I know, right? But this is better than Inception. That's the
Oh yeah,
craziest
no, it
part.
is. It is.
Inception doesn't even hold a fucking excuse me, doesn't hold a leg to this.
Well, it's
Moving right along.
Americanized, you know. It's
Yeah.
Hollywoodized.
But I mean, with the voice acting in this is it was in theaters. I have an old ticket stub.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember watching it, so but yeah, just more shots of Paprika because my mind wanders. There is that creepy doll. That is I'm telling you guys if I've
You
never
know,
had a
there's.
thing with
Go
creepy
ahead.
dolls, but never had a creepy doll thing. Never get scared about that type of stuff. Doesn't freak me out. But in this movie, that was freaking me out. Like I was edge of my seat at this point because this thing's like as tall as a skyscraper, right? Like whoa.
Smashing buildings.
And we see the other doctor there as his robot form, but he's still not conscious of what's going on around him. He's just in this like fugue state.
It's dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What was that in Breaking Bad? When they found him naked on the road, he was in a fugue state, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the real thing. Um, and he picks up Chiba, and she's pleading with him, right? And yeah, he eats her. He goes, well, what does he say after that? Do you remember?
It would taste. It lacks spice. It's a little bland.
Yeah, you could use a splash of paprika. I like
Go
that. It made me laugh.
wants to go looking for her.
So this has a bit of a dark city vibe. If you've ever seen that,
Oh yeah. What a movie.
I know, right? I like that. That's God. Do I ever love this film? I really do. This is one of the best animes I've ever seen. To tell you the truth. Like, I mean, I know I'm throwing the review at the window by saying it, but my God, the imagery in this is so amazing. And Chiba shows up as a giant, which I really liked. And
Well,
she has a
doesn't
little
she
cut.
get
Go ahead.
like offed or something? Like something happens to her?
He ate her. He killed her in
Yeah,
the
he ate
dream
her.
world.
Right, right. He ate her.
Yeah.
I just
And then
watched him eat her in the screenshots.
so you see the robot stuck in this building like that, and she has a little heart to heart with Paprika, which is it's like is the ego talking to the super ego, or are they two separate beings? This is where it starts. I'm starting to think that way about this. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, who is Paprika? Is she a ghost in the machine? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I do, I do like that one part where Paprika says to Chiba, or Chiba says to Paprika, "You're a part of me," and Paprika goes, "How are you sure you're not a part of me?" I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's good writing. So in reality, once again, Buddy's stuck in the elevator. Callback. What? Like everything in this is relevant. There isn't a scene wasted, and
But things change a
yeah,
little bit.
and she confesses that you know even though she hates the way that he consumes food, like she brings that up quite a bit, and that he's like a man child, and it's a child stuck in a man's body, but he's the smartest man in the world. He's the most brilliant inventor, and she actually confesses that she's in love with him, and I found that kind of nice. Like
It's
it
what's
was
on the
unexpected.
inside that matters.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I'll tell you that much. I didn't see that coming. Did you?
Um, well, I mean, there's that one moment where she's like, because I, and then she pauses and takes off.
Yeah,
And, I mean, Hollywood would tell you that, you know, the guy, the guys like that don't get the girl.
doesn't get the girl. Absolutely not. But you know
Never.
what?
In, like, the world of Hollywood does, the big fat, clumsy, guy who's like, he just doesn't have, he's it just he
Yeah.
doesn't get the girl. And yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised because it not only did it, but to me, like it connected her with the Paprika character
Right.
because Paprika's kind of, she's fun loving, she's spontaneous, very she's a very heart. She acts from the heart, whereas like the other character Elaine
Cheap.
is a very logic
By the
driven,
books. Yeah.
by the book, straight edge, like not the kind of person you would expect to fall in love with somebody who he might not be the ideal man,
Hmm.
um, by by modern standards, but
Right.
it kind of reveals who she is that she doesn't care for stuff like that, for superficial
Right.
bullshit. And
She's a deeper character than you actually initially thought. But at the same time, she's Paprika. It's
how do you know she's not? Yeah, how do you know she's not part of Paprika?
yeah,
And
exactly
the
right.
fact that she loves a guy like that, because typically a woman who's on the surface like her, and
Hmm.
like would more deep down be like her, wouldn't go for, you know,
Wouldn't go for him.
he, yeah,
So what I really liked about this scene too is that it's showing it right there, like in the dream world, and Paprika says, "Oh, Chiba's dreaming now," and then they both just kind of fade out into reality, which was it was touching for me. Like I liked it. She seems genuinely happy. And then this guy shows up from the underworld.
yeah.
And what does Paprika say?
I forget. What does she say?
She goes, all it needs is a little
Paprika.
splash of paprika.
That's
I
right.
know. I love her attitude. It's so upbeat and fun.
She's so cute. Just,
Yeah,
just a cutie.
she's a cutie. I want a T-shirt of her. So Paprika sacrifices herself at first, and then this like sexless, genderless child thing comes out of the robot, um, and just starts sucking up the dream world, right? And eventually gets a hold of this guy and starts. He's freaking out like, no, you can't have this power. I'm the protector of the dreams. And yeah, she kills him. We can't show that shot because although tastefully done, there's too many rules. But she saves the day. She saves the dream reality. She saves everybody from this waking nightmare between reality and this dream world where everything's interconnected. And that's quite beautiful. So,
It is.
um, give me 1 second here. Not quite done sharing, or looking for a keyboard that doesn't exist. Got a few more shots here. I didn't want these ones to be out of order this time, so I created two folders. Just gonna grab that for everybody, and we got like five more to go through. Then our final thoughts and review. So we see this is this reality or is it the dream world? But stuff happened. Bad stuff happened, right? Like
Yeah,
stuff got
that's the
blown up.
same one that they faded out of.
So we're not quite sure.
So where are we?
So we gotta. This is something I say quite a bit. We do get the redemption arc of our filmmaking police officer, and it's just like Chiba and Paprika. He's seeing the guy in the reflection, which I really dig that. I love this type of imagery. I think it's beautiful. and just the guy says, "Hey, I forgive you. You're living the life that we tried to create and film together."
You made the movie that we
Yeah,
tried to
basically,
make.
yeah, and like all this inherent guilt that he had all these years, weighing on him to the point where he's trying weird experimental therapy. It's like this weight has finally been lifted, right? And the one thing I can ask you, Mobius, how much of that was actually real, and how much of it was part of the therapy, or was any of it real, and it was all just part of the therapy?
Maybe the whole thing was his therapy session.
Exactly, right?
And it's crazy because Inception does the same thing at the end of their
hmm
film.
With the top.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
top, and everyone's talking about it because I remember after that movie,
hmm
after everyone saw that movie, they're all like, "So, what do you think?" And it's just like, well, this is that times 10. I mean, this
Yeah.
movie. I mean, if you like anime, if you don't, if you even liked Inception a little bit, which I did,
hmm
um,
I hate it now.
well, I don't hate it now. I don't like the idea of plagiarizing ideas, but
Well, there's plagiarism, then there's this. That's a.
yeah, it's like halfway between that and like just it's like kind of like a tribute, but uh,
Ugh, I know, right? It's so hard, but hey, I do like what's her name, Marion Cotillard in Inception. She's a cutie. Yeah.
oh, the one who played Mal, I think it is.
She played Ra's al Ghul's daughter in the third Batman. I can't remember her name though, because I'm not a DC guy. I'm surprised I remember what Ra's al Ghul, but I watched Arrow.
Al Ghul.
I watched Arrow. Sup, Steven? I know you're never gonna watch this. Tell Danny I say hi. But I was there first. So seconds. Um, so this scene here, obviously, I don't read Japanese. I'm not going to pretend, but it basically the guy logs into the website just to say hello or whatever, and just check it out. And Chiba's left him a note, and basically it says that her last name is going to be changing to what, Tamiko, and that's the name of the inventor. She's going to marry him. Once again, like this is this you don't see that kind of stuff
No.
in Hollywood films. Like that guy, that he would be like, I would say, other than maybe Super Bad, where when Jonah Hill was quite hefty and he ends up with Emma Stone at the end. That's kind of comparable, but they're teenagers. And, they went off to college and she started dating women probably. But in this, it's nice. It's a nice ending. I really liked it. I took this shot because he declares before he doesn't want to watch movies. He hates movies. It's a big thing on his head. But if you look there, you can see Tokyo Godfathers. So they must have been working on that film while they were doing this one because that's the same director.
That's an actual.
That's an actual one. I brought it up at the beginning. That's one of the other ones he's worked on.
Right,
So
right, right.
there it is. It makes a little appearance. I love that kind of stuff. I love Easter eggs. It's just like in video games. I like finding the little things in there. It's fun. And just seeing that, it warmed my heart. That's a really good movie, by the way. We're gonna have to review that sometime soon. That's for sure. And this is the end of it. But he goes. Basically, he's better. He'll go to movies again. And one, please. And that's that. That's
Yeah,
that's the end of our spoiler slideshow as
the
usual.
feel good ending.
I felt great. Like this movie was therapy for me compared to everything else we've been watching lately.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
God.
I walked away so happy. I'm like, oh man, I needed this so bad.
Yeah. And my like foray into anime, because I mean I've watched maybe one or two
Hmm.
anime films before even doing this show and like doing the anime
Oh,
reviews.
my hair's a mess now.
Like those the what was it Ninja Scroll. It was like okay, this is pretty crazy. And then yeah, the other one I don't even want to talk about it. But this was like a breath of fresh air for me for sure.
I really needed this today. Felt good. I felt so happy at the end. I'm in
And it's
love
a
with Paprika.
positive. It's a positive film too.
I know, right? Like I need once in a while. You can't just watch nothing but mindless violence. It's really hard on you.
Or like dark and
Yeah,
edgy. There's no darkness. There's no edginess. Like that seems to be the theme since probably the late '90s of film, even anime. Just dark, edgy, violent. Let's see how we can push the boundaries. Or this is just like
yeah.
it's just really artistic, really
That's how long
expressive.
my bangs are, guys. Sorry. It's like it's how long they are now. Ooh.
Holy
It's
crap!
getting bad. Getting bad. Yeah, they go past my chin. So, whew, one heck of a conversation, dude. I've really enjoyed talking to you tonight. It's nice. Yeah, man. So, would you recommend this?
Um, yeah, I would. I'd have
Hmm.
a tough time recommending it to people with short attention spans or people don't like enjoy movies that you really have to watch.
You really gotta think, right?
Yeah, but I would definitely recommend it, especially if it's like, hey, did you like Inception? Okay,
Yeah.
well, here's
Nice.
the actual movie.
Hmm. And would you watch again? I think that's an obvious.
Yeah, I have to. I need to. I haven't quite wrapped my head around it, so I think I'll have to watch it about 3 times in total to actually feel like I have a
Right.
good idea of what's going on.
The thing is with this is I want to do just another review afterwards where I've really soaked it in.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if you want to. We could both do one. Who knows? Just saying, guys. There's possibilities
Maybe,
when you
yeah.
come across something this good. Like this deserves more attention than we're even giving it tonight. And you're
I
full
didn't.
screen for that.
I didn't do it justice because, like, I watched it. I finished probably about half an hour before we started the stream.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, like, I haven't really had time to digest it.
Really
But
soak it in. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
it's kind of movie you gotta sit down and digest and think about a lot. Make heads or tails of some of the stuff that went on. There's a
Take
lot of
some notes.
complexities. Yeah,
I didn't expect it to be this complex either. Like
yeah,
it's deep. This is actually deep and funny and uplifting and oh my god.
positive. Yeah.
So if you were the director, what would you do different? I mean, that's kind of a pointless question at this point.
Nothing.
Nice. So, how many stairs out of 200 would you give this?
Um, I have to look at it from perspective of
Hmm.
somebody who has watched this once. So, from the
Right.
perspective of somebody who watched this once, it is really confusing. I found it hard to follow.
Oof.
It was kind of all over the place. That's just the negative stuff I have to say about it. Other than that, it's an excellent film.
Right.
Um, really entertaining, positive. It's it's yeah, and like I said, it's a breath of fresh air from not only the anime we've been watching for the last little while, but like movies in general. It's a fresh idea. I mean, it's I haven't seen anything like it before. I mean, Inception kind of rips it off, but
Right.
Inception doesn't even touch it really. Um,
Not as many
and
layers.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers, and the issue I had with Inception was the characters were pretty hollow. I mean, they
Hmm.
gave them basic backgrounds and like but it was just like like the casting director had more say in that movie than anybody else because they're like, oh, let's get this person for that, and let's
Yeah.
like make this character more like that actor. That's what I felt like I was watching in that movie. Whereas this, it's like these characters are really deep.
Right.
Just like King of Staten Island. You could like, when I watched that, I felt like I connected with the characters.
Hmm.
Um, I had a reason to like root for them. It wasn't just like good guy, bad guy. It
I
was,
know.
it was deeper than that. So I mean, this movie's got a lot going for it. I think I would give it probably 170 stairs.
Nice. Definitely. So I'll just split screen this. Oh my god, dude, hair's like falling apart. So
At least it's not falling out.
would no, it's long and thick and ridiculous. But that's what she said. God, why did I do that? Anyhow, would I recommend this? Absolutely. Anybody can watch this. I you know, like, look, I'm Scandinavian and Polynesian. A little bit of nip once in a while. It's not going to hurt kids. That's up to the parenting. And have you ever looked at like a Greek statue? I mean, it's the is this it was tastefully done in this, and it was needed for the scenes. It made sense for the nudity, and it's so minimal that it's not disturbing. So I would actually recommend this for all ages. Tell you the truth. Um, Tell your kids to put their hands over their eyes. That's what my parents did when I was growing up. Like, ah, hands over the eyes. I'm like, oh, too late. But it is animation. This is a drawing. It's not all that accurate. Although the artwork in this is absolutely stunning. Give it that. So I'd recommend it for sure to everybody. Unless you don't want your children seeing cartoon nipples at one point. Would I watch it again? I might actually put it on once we're done the stream, just so I can soak in some more. Like I'm at the point where I wish there was a Paprika part two. Like, but please don't ever do that, guys. This does not need a sequel. This
No, no sequel.
Leave it there. Leave it there. That's. I want my imagination to form its own sequel. Or They Lived Happily Ever After is perfectly fine with me. We don't need to go deeper into this world. It's good the way it is. Whew. So yeah, I'd watch it again. What would I do differently? Absolutely nothing. I wouldn't change this at all. And as far as stairs go, I'm giving it 185 out of 200. So probably one of my top ratings. Actually, I'm giving it 190. This is as far as because you can't. I'm not going to compare anime to film. That's unfair. Okay, but as far as anime goes, this gets 190 out of 200. Nearly perfect in every way. I I am going to put this on afterwards. I love the characters. I love the growth. Oh man, I'm always about that arc. You know, the hero's journey. I like. I just like where everything ended up. It's absolutely perfect, and I like that question. Was that Was that real? Was that just his therapy? And you know, I like having my mind blown once in a while.
I think it's open.
It's yeah, it's an open. You can ask that, and that's where it's like, oh God, like
It's
maybe that was just his therapy, and
it's
probably cost him.
or it's up to the viewer. They write it so that it's up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. Like choose your own adventure,
Yeah.
find your own ending. You ever play that? Or read those? I mean,
Yeah. As a kid.
I still have one of those books, just one. It's about skateboarding. I think it's called How to Pick Your Nose or something like that. But
Yeah. I read it.
that's
I read a couple of those.
yeah. I still have one of those books. Just
There's
just
that
just,
movie
just the
on
one.
Netflix. What's it called? Bandersnatch.
Oh, is it
You ever
like
seen
that?
that? Yeah.
No.
It's. Oh yeah. Um, Bandersnatch. It's actually. I don't think it's been done before, but
Hmm.
well, it's probably been done crappy, but it's basically like a choose your own adventure movie where like
Right.
um, same thing as the books where you're like
Mhm.
you hit this point in the story where the character has to make a choice and you choose and it's like turn to page 71, it does that and it skips to a certain part and the movie itself I think is like 6 or 7 hours long. Just
Mhm.
it's not going to take you that long to watch it, but there's
Right.
that much footage where you can.
Right. You know what's interesting is I just played a video game that was like that, and it was like I didn't know what I was playing, and you have to make choices throughout the game. That's I'm like, how is this a game? But I couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't stop. Like I wanted to go through every choice and see like every possible like ending, and so I ended up playing it for like 6 hours. I'm like, I should be streaming this, moron.
Which game?
I'll probably do a stream of it. I'd have to find the link. It's on my gaming computer. So regardless of all of that, I don't know if you heard my stare rating. I gave it 190 for anime. For film, 185. That's fine. It's good. I guys, what are you doing? Why are you even watching us at this point without hitting subscribe? Hit subscribe. We're gonna keep doing this, guys. If you guys want us to review
It's
another
right down
anime
there.
film, you like, there's something you want to see us talk about, leave a comment. It's that easy. But you know, this is that time. We're hitting that mark. We like to keep this about an hour and a half. You know, and I want to keep talking about it. I love this movie. I absolutely do. And I don't say that about a lot of things. I usually hate everything. So
That's not true.
I know I'm so positive. I'm like that doctor who likes getting slapped. Guys, go watch Paprika. And with that, I'm gonna say you can't break that human spirit. And I love you all. So have a good night. Thanks for watching, everybody.